You know what that means? That means it's Friday. Welcome to the 4 to 5. The Friday
I love to
dance
on Fridays. Well, welcome everybody. Remember, you can also watch us on Fire Stick, Roku, and the WFNY News 2 app.
If you're tuning in from Facebook, be sure to let us know and join in on the fun conversations. But first, we have got to talk about those blazing hot temperatures. Take a look at your screen. It's all 90s all the time. Today, we're inching closer to that 1917 record high, and tomorrow we're on track to do the same.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same thing. If you could see heat, you would be seeing red right now. But that one thing I want you to note, though, is the fact that the Burlington Skycam, we're basically talking about, you can see the winds picking up. What does that mean for us? That means that we're probably, at least it'll give you a little bit of a breeze, even though these temperatures are very, very warm. Now, another issue that we're talking about will be air quality. And for today, we're in the orange zone. So if you look at the readings over here, you go from good, moderate, unhealthy for certain groups or sensitive groups, and then unhealthy for everybody, and it goes on up. We're in the orange right now, which is unhealthy for sensitive groups. So if you know anybody that has respiratory issues, check on them today. You can see the primary pollutant here is ozone. Now we go moderate tomorrow, and I think the good news is by Sunday, we'll probably be in the good zone because we need some rain to get rid of that, and that will happen as we move into Sunday. We've got about a 40% chance for afternoon and evening. That's Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures right now, low 90s. You see 91 in Greensboro. That just ticked up a degree in the last 20 minutes or so. High point at 93 Burlington. Yeah, these are July temperatures really, and they'll stay with us for about another day. The forecast for tonight with 68 degrees, a warm night, but mostly clear. That means it'll be comfortable tomorrow morning when you make your way out at 68. The high tomorrow, 90, hot and breezy again, and hopefully we get a late day shower or isolated thunderstorm.
As temperatures exceed 90 degrees over the next few days, doctors want you to take care of your skin when the sun is out. We know it kind of goes without saying, but this is the first heat stretch of the year, and we want you to be prepared. Experts say no matter what skin type you have, you should use sunscreen. It can prevent skin cancer and sun damage. Anyone 6 months and older can apply it. They say the average adult should wear a shot glass amount of sunscreen over their entire body.
We also want to remind you to check the back seat when hopping in and out of the car. The National Safety Council says on average, 38 children under 15 die each year after being left in a hot vehicle. New research shows any parent can forget their kids in a hot car. The University of South Florida says it usually isn't a negligence problem, but a memory problem. They recommend creating visual cues in your car, like placing a diaper bag or a piece of your child's clothing in the front seat. That way you won't forget that they're there.
Now let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup.
Am I about to die? My car is stolen. It was all scary. I think it was just the fact that I was in my own vehicle and I felt safe in my vehicle, and now that right has just been taken away.
20-year-old Hunter Thompson says she was carjacked while waiting for her friends outside of a store. High Point police say it happened in a strip mall parking lot on North Centennial Street. Thompson says a man approached her unlocked car door, ripped it open, and threw her outside. She said she tried to hang onto the handle, but he took off, dragging her across the parking lot. Thompson's car is a white 2016 Honda CR-V with a license plate number KAR 7058. It also has a Wingate University sticker on the back. If you see it, call police. Greensboro police are investigating the circumstances of a person's death in a McDonald's parking lot this morning. Officers have cleared the scene but are still trying to piece together what happened. Investigators say they do not believe foul play is involved, and this is a developing story. We will keep you posted. Right now, officials say COVID cases in children are rising. The CDC adopted a scientific panel's recommendation for a third dose of the Pfizer vaccine for children 5 to 11, but only 28% in that age group have gotten their first 2 doses. The American Academy of Pediatrics reports that COVID-19 cases among kids have climbed 76% in the past 2 weeks. And for a list of where you can take your child to get vaccinated, just text the word KIDS to 336-379-5775. Well, for the first time since 2019, Veterans Appreciation Day is back in the Triad. Tomorrow is Armed Forces Day, an occasion to honor our heroes from all branches of the military. The local nonprofit American Heroes for North Carolina is hosting a big bash at the Carolina Field of Honor. This year's theme is hiring veterans in the local workforce. The place to be tomorrow is Carolina Field of Honor at Triad Park in Kernersville at noon. You can expect patriotic ceremony, music, and the chance to say thank you to our heroes.
Well, check this out. A Greensboro woman is helping U.S. veterans and deployed military troops one pair of socks at a time. Elle Ruger is the founder of Soldier Socks, an online sock business she runs out of her home. When you purchase a pair of socks from her site, her company will send a pair to deployed troops in your name. She got the idea 12 years ago when her friend who was deployed to Afghanistan requested something special in his care package.
The socks that he was issued did not really hold up to the conditions that he was in, and he ended up getting a bacterial infection on his foot. And we had sent him really good quality socks in his care packages since it was on his request list. And within 2 weeks of getting those socks, the infection went away, and it was night and day.
Ruger says she spent a year and a half on research and development of the perfect boot sock. Since launching her business in 2017, she's donated approximately 20,000 pairs of socks to deployed troops and veterans and is on track to donate 50,000 pairs alone this year.
Even people who are civilians can relate. If you are into, fitness or the outdoors community, you will know the importance of having a good quality pair of socks. And so for our troops who when they're deployed and they have 75 pounds of equipment and they're marching around, they want to make sure that their equipment, whether it's their uniform or their socks or their boots, is all going to hold up to what they're doing.
Each pair sold online is named after a service member who has served or is serving in the military. Ruger says her company also donates socks to various nonprofits that work with service members and vets. She's also planning a Give Back tour for 2023, where she and her team will tour the country and give back to military communities. So this is just an awesome business that grew from an idea of something as simple as a sock, and she's been able to touch so many lives with this gift.
I think about how rugged that has to be. Like military service members, if they're using actual socks like this, I mean, they got to be tough to put up with what they go through. I always think, like, imagine when your socks get wet, you know what I'm saying, and all that, and it's miserable. So you got to have good stuff. This is great.
Yeah, and I wouldn't think that boots are necessarily the most comfortable shoes, and especially when you're carrying a lot of things. So first off, great that she even thought of this concept, but I also like how you said she names the socks after military members.
So one sock that they actually released today is named after a woman in the military who they recently met. And if you take a look at the video in the hand behind us, these are the socks that the people in the field get. So the socks that are sold online, those are the ones that have the designs and the different things like that, but they're the same quality and the same material. So if I order myself a pair of socks, another pair will be donated out to those that are serving, so cool. And also the veterans. And I think speaking of the veterans, so there's a lot of nonprofits that work with vets and military groups, so they'll donate socks to those organizations who give out care packages. So it's just a lot of giving and giving that they're doing.
So if I buy a pair, then a pair goes to the military as well. I love that. This is great.
So she says she's on track to donate 50,000 alone this year.
That's phenomenal.
I just love that idea of, you might have an idea in your head, but it can grow to something so much bigger if you just go out and do it. She did the research, she got with the right, vendors and was able to make this all happen.
And it's really not about the socks, is it? It's about our servicemen and women. So this is great.
Great story.
All right, we're going to take a break. We're coming back. Hot weather, yes. You step outside and you can almost tell, I don't know about you, but for me, when I walk out in the morning and it's just thick, right? It's like a humid, thick soup, and you know that summertime temperatures are going to be really hot. And we're in a mid to late summer pattern for the next day or so. Look at the readings right now. 91 degrees at the airport in Greensboro, 93 High Point, 92 Winston-Salem, Reedsville at 92, Mount Airy 90. You have to go all the way back to Wilkesboro to see some 80s, 88 degrees there, Galax at 84, and more to come at least for another day. We've got today and tomorrow with 90s expected as we see low 90s, but the records are in the mid 90s as we go from today to tomorrow. We probably won't get that record today unless we spike in the next hour or so. Usually within this next hour is when we hit the high temperatures, sometimes between about 3 and 5. So we'll see, but it's closer than we want to be. Clear skies for right now across the region. In fact, you have to go all the way up to Pennsylvania to see any showers or thunderstorm activity if you're looking up and down the eastern seaboard. Heat builds in from the south, courtesy of the high pressure off the coast there. This front gets closer to us, but we'll keep that normal kind of summertime 40% chance of a late day pop-up shower or storm. That's for Saturday and Sunday. Highs 90 on Saturday and 89 on Sunday. Then the best rain chance really is Monday. We'll drop down to 79 for a high. It'll be an on again, off again showery day. But that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that's mid to upper 70s with a pop-up shower here or there. Not a big deal. Even Friday, we build to 81. All of that more of a summertime late day shower or thunderstorm.
Woo, so all right, y'all, you just saw Eric's forecast, and the next few days are about to be HOT, hot.
That's right. This weekend, folks are definitely going to be trying to beat the heat, probably getting some ice cream if I could guess, or maybe keep a cold drink close. But what happens when you enjoy those treats a little too fast?
I got 2 words for you, Stacy. Brain freeze.
Ugh, it's the worst. We've all heard of it, brain freeze, but is it actually real? Let's verify.
Hot temperatures in our future. A viewer asked us, can you do a story on ice cream headaches? Are they real? Let's verify.
Our sources, cardiologist Dr. Pyle Coley, family physician Dr. Robert Robinson, and Johns Hopkins Medicine. Many of us have heard of ice cream headaches or brain freezes, but the technical term, according to Johns Hopkins Medicine, is a cold stimulus headache. Both Dr. Robinson and Dr. Coley say this is a very real condition.
What happens is when you eat something very cold or drink something very cold, there are little receptors in the back of your palate and the top of your mouth that essentially get triggered.
It is a real thing, but it's not as its name implies. Your brain isn't actually freezing.
Like Dr. Robinson said, your brain doesn't technically freeze, but changing the body temperature quickly can cause some pain.
That reaction triggers the pain receptors right next to those blood vessels, which then carry pain along the trigeminal nerve. That's the nerve that gives sensation to our face up to the brain.
The best thing to do if this happens,
If you restore the normal temperature of your palate and throat, either by massaging the roof of your mouth with your thumb or just drinking something warm or eating something warm, not hot, but eating or drinking something warm to, again, bring the temperature back to normal.
so we can verify that yes, ice cream headaches are real.
Both doctors tell us the pain should only last about a few seconds to up to a few minutes. If the headache lasts a long time, call your doctor. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
This is me every time.
I know it
Yeah.
hurts.
Oh,
It's
the
like
worst.
intense and then goes away.
It's very
but-
quick, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like it doesn't happen so much for me with ice cream, but with snow cones.
Yes.
I guess because that's like pure
It's
ice.
pure ice.
Or even
Yeah.
just a really cold
Freezy
drink.
Pop. Oh, yeah, sometimes. The Freezy Pops get me, the ice things, whatever they're called. Those always give me brain freeze.
One thing I want to know, this is kind of pivoting a little bit. You know when you drink soda and you kind of like burp a little bit and it makes your nose sting?
Tingle,
Does that
yes.
happen to you
Yes.
all? I wonder
Yeah.
if it's like the same kind of concept with the brain freeze.
I don't know. I think this is more of a temperature thing.
Okay.
I think that's the
fizz.
carbonation,
Yeah.
like the bubbles and fizz and
Yeah.
stuff.
I don't know what it is. There's something to this. Maybe a doctor listening could tell me. But if I drink soda, the first time I drink it, I'll hiccup. Every
Really?
time. Like as soon as I take, like if I take 3 or 4 gulps, of it.
Probably something with
I
the
always
air
hiccup.
coming in, maybe how you're
Maybe.
doing it, because
know.
I think hiccups have to do with the air.
And
So-
the other thing that I do, that I've asked a doctor about this, and he said this is normal. Me and hot sauce. I'm ridiculous with it. If the first thing I eat, whether it's for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and I put hot sauce on it, I get the hiccups. And he said that's a real thing where your body, it jolts the body into like almost like it's a reaction to the heat, to the spice.
Sounds like you just like to hiccup.
I don't
Hopefully
know.
you don't turn into those people that are on like the world record that
yes.
hiccup for 7 years. And
Recently I
They can't
hiccuped
stop.
on air, and I had never done that before.
You did?
It was when I filled in on GMS and I was doing a cut-in for the morning show, and I could not get rid of the hiccups. And as soon as the cut-in was over, they were gone.
that's always a fear of mine because I will get them right in
can't
a
stop
break and
it.
I'm
It's
like,
the worst.
oh gosh.
I was
Right.
just laughing the whole time because I
right.
like couldn't stop.
Keep watching. Maybe that will happen. We'll be back.
Who wants some ice cream?
It's a very special bee anniversary. Today marks 400 years since the first honeybee buzzed in North America. While there are several types of bees that are native to our area, our pollination pals aren't from around here. Historians at the Jamestown Yorktown Foundation say the first record of honeybees were brought to the colonies in 1622. Back then, their talents were used for honey, of course, wax candles, and the popular drink spiced mead. So I asked you on my Facebook page what you use honey for. Jerry says buttered biscuits. This is gonna make you hungry, okay? Amy writes, local honey every day to keep the allergies away. Joy likes honey on a peanut butter sandwich. Bobby says, I love to put honey on homemade biscuits, delicious. Pamela says, in my tea or when I bake a ham. Maria puts honey in a cup of hot green tea. And Robert says he sometimes puts honey in coffee. And then meteorologist Christian Morgan says, can't beat some honey on a piece of fried chicken.
That was going to be
So
my
true.
answer. I love honey on biscuits, but when I go
do
somewhere
too.
like Popeyes and get like the chicken strips, I just love to dip it in honey.
Yes.
Ooh, that's
You don't need honey mustard, you don't need barbecue sauce. Honey will do the
Right, now
trick.
you know you and I like the spice.
Yeah.
So if you do honey and hot sauce, like the sweet hot thing is so good.
That sounds pretty good.
It's really good. On
Interesting.
chicken too. Great on chicken.
Love biscuits with honey.
Yeah, me too.
I also love peanut butter sandwiches with honey on it.
Oh, okay.
It's a great combination.
I have something for you. So if you're looking for a dessert but a light kind of snack. I like to pop popcorn on the stove, but then I like to melt a little bit of honey in the microwave, drizzle it on top of the popcorn, and then sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon on top.
That sounds
It's very
so
refreshing.
good.
It's light, guilt-free. So if you're looking for something sweet
So,
in the middle of the night, like that's something that you
so
could
if you
try
nuke
out.
the honey, it's more liquidy.
Yeah,
not
yeah,
so
it's more
thick.
liquidy. Like just
Oh,
put it in the
wow.
microwave for like 20 seconds or something like that, and then just pour it on top of the popcorn.
I'm
But I
gonna
make my
try this.
popcorn on the stove because I like to use like olive oil and
I
stuff
do
like
too.
that. It just tastes
Yeah.
fresher.
By the way,
More
liquidy is
fresh.
not a word. That's what me
Liquidy.
and Lauren say.
Liquidy.
More liquid-like. Now you got me thinking about popcorn. I like Parmesan cheese on popcorn. That's what we do at our house.
a good one.
Sorry, I digress. That's all I have.
good.
That's all I got.
Well, just like we appreciate the honeybees, Coach Lamont is encouraging us to thank those who hold the ladders in our lives. Let's take a listen to this U-Day moment.
I learned a long time ago that the higher I had to climb on a ladder, it was wise to have someone on the bottom to steady it so that I would not lose my balance. A ladder has steps to help you reach what is unreachable. With this in mind, who is the person in your life who's holding your ladder? I have determined that we need others to help us get jobs done. We were never called to go through life alone and facing battles by ourselves. Some are sent to hold us up as we climb the places we have never reached before. Your life ladder is stretching you towards a new level, but you must be willing to trust others to help you steady yourself. Remember that when you're climbing, somebody has to help you get there. This is Coach Lamont. Make today your best U-Day. I'll see you tomorrow.
Here at WFNY News 2, we're all about finding a forever home for our rescue pets, but today is an extra special day. It is National Rescue Dog Day, and we asked you on our WFNY Facebook page to send in photos of your pups and where they were rescued from. This is 7-year-old Winston. He was adopted by his owner, Ed Wilborn, through Happy Chance Rescue in Mebane. His nickname is Winnie. Next, we have Charlie, or Sir Charles. He was adopted by his owner, Acker Steele, from Friends of Eden Animal Rescue. He actually spent 482 days there before he was adopted. His owners have had him for 3 years now.
Wow. He looks so chill.
And you got to check this one out. This is a photo of Jasmine, was sent in by her owner, Courtney Ajon. Jasmine was adopted from Animal Rescue and Foster Program. Very, very cute. And next we have baby boy Pacino. His owner, Mikkel Moorfield, adopted him from Burlington Animal Services. He has several nicknames, but a couple are Sino, P, or the Hitman.
Oh, okay.
And then last we have Jude, who goes by Juju. He was rescued from a foster family in Cary, North Carolina. His grandmother, Mary Brooks, says he is so loved and so spoiled. As you can see, he even has his own car seat for protection. I love
He just looks
that.
like a juju.
That's right. Don't mess
Yeah.
with the juju.
So cute.
So we've always been big supporters of rescue animals in my family. And the last dog we had that unfortunately passed away, he was older, but we got him. Actually, we found him on the side of the road.
Oh, wow.
So it's just, my wife loves to, she's not necessarily a fan of the purebred dogs. I was growing up. I had more of that than the other, but she loves that. And so we have always said, if and when we do get another dog, it'll definitely be a rescue.
And getting the purebred dogs, they can be kind of pricey.
And troublesome.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes
Kind
there are
of
health
pricey.
issues, yeah.
And so going to the animal shelter, you're doing good. Some of the dogs are already trained, and some of them, they really are just looking for a loving home.
True.
Yeah, every time I go to do a story at the animal shelter, I want to take them all
I
home.
know.
Yes.
And I'm just a huge dog person. And the reason why we didn't go with a rescue, because I wish I could, and if I could, I would, but I'm actually allergic to dogs. So Wrigley is hypoallergenic, so that's why I had to get a
That
golden
breed of
doodle.
dog, yes, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That was, Arthur was that too, so he had no shedding and all of that. Yeah, and I'm not saying don't get a purebred dog, totally, if that's what you're into, but you will dish out some money, that's for sure.
That's for sure. I really want a miniature poodle, and I looked
They're
at
so
some of
cute.
those prices. But I have a couple friends who have rescue pets, and they keep saying, Lauren, go to the shelter. You know, you might just go in there and make eye contact with one and just fall in love with it. So, you know, I've been saying I've wanted a dog since I've got here. It was on my vision board last year.
If you go shopping for one, I want to go with you because
Yeah.
I love
I do
to see
too.
them. That's better be fun.
And you just, they just are so happy. Even when we just go visit the
I
shelter,
know.
you know.
Yeah.
I can't talk
They
about
need-
it because
I know.
you
They
You
wanna-
can
their
volunteer
homes.
there too. You can foster. There's so many
Yeah.
different things you can do if you're not ready to make that kind of a commitment.
fostering, there's an idea. All right, we're coming back. Stay there. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the 4 to 5. Eric, Stacy, and Lauren with you right now. We talked earlier about hiccuping and sneezing on the air, and I thought I was going to just then. Literally, you said it, and I was really close.
Trying to fight it
I
off. Welcome back to the 4 to 5. If you're watching us at home, Fire Stick, Roku, and remember, if you're about to head out the door, you can also watch us on the WFNY News 2 app.
And we're also live on Facebook, so go join us on there and join in on the conversation. Well, in the meantime, we need to talk about today's weather because it's so hot outside.
It is. You can almost see the heat, can't you? Best news, though, look at the flags. Yeah, it's a little breezy out there. We were outside earlier today shooting a story, and the winds were starting to pick up. It actually helps tremendously when you're out there in that 90-degree heat. All right, looking at what we expect to see over the next couple of days, we do see some changes, not a whole lot, but we'll drop maybe 2 or 3 degrees. Not a big drop in temperature, but enough. But we're also looking at air quality. So we're in the unhealthy zone right here for today. Tomorrow, a little bit better at moderate, but basically that means it's unhealthy for sensitive groups. So if you know anybody that has a respiratory issue, asthma, anything like that, sometimes when we get in this particular situation weather-wise, kind of a dry heat, we'll have some issues there. We could watch this drop to moderate tomorrow. I'm hoping we'll go down to the good zone maybe by Sunday and into Monday. We'll see some positive changes on the way. Look at these temperatures. Burlington 93, High Point, you have the same reading. Asheboro at 92, Lexington 90. It's 91 at the airport in Greensboro. So this will be the official reporting station for the Triad. We'll watch to see if we can reach any record high temperatures. Probably not the case. Mid-90s were the records, not only for today, but also for tomorrow. So we're calling for that 91, 92 for today, and then tomorrow down to 90, and by Sunday we think we'll see some upper 80s. All dry out there. You in fact go out to a wider shot. You can see in the deep south we've got a little bit in the panhandle, of Florida there, and that's moving north into southern Georgia, and then some back up toward D.C. and also across New York State. Nothing right in the middle. We're sort of sandwiched in between all that. This high pressure brings in winds out of the southwest. That'll keep us on the warm side of things for the next couple of days, actually, as we see temperatures above that normal high of 79. We're up to 90 tomorrow and 89 on Sunday. Both days, 40% chance. Those are late day pop-up shower and storm, just like you see in the summertime. We'll cool it down though. Upper 70s Monday. That's the best chance of rain, by the way, kind of on again, off again showers. Tuesday, a 30% chance in the afternoon. Tuesday, Wednesday, and highs in the mid to upper 70s. We go to 78 on Thursday, and by Friday, it's a 40% chance of showers. That could be a rainy day, but warming up with a high of 81.
New at 4:30, 4 South Carolina babies are in the hospital because of issues related to the baby formula shortage. The Medical University of South Carolina Hospital officials say 3 suffered reactions because their parents couldn't find the right formula for them. The 4th infant was given a homemade formula.
These milk alternatives are not suited for infants. They're lacking in a lot of different carbohydrates and protein and fat, as well as vitamins and minerals.
It's sad. President Joe Biden is expected to sign a bill that gives low-income families who are struggling to find baby formula more options. The formula shortage was caused in a large part by the shutdown of the nation's largest formula plant in February because of safety concerns. The FDA says Abbott's Michigan facility is expected to be up and running again soon. Now, this shortage isn't just impacting families with small babies. Other children can rely on formula too. 8-year-old Izzy Bradford suffers from a rare metabolic disorder and needs prescription formula for about 70% of her nutrition.
What would happen to Izzy's body if she didn't have this metabolic formula?
She would start to sort of break down psychologically, emotionally, and physically.
Could it damage her brain?
It would. In long term, not having the formula would result in permanent brain damage.
Both Izzy and her mother are hoping for a solution to the shortage. They say they are frightened of what will happen if they run out of supplies. If you or someone you know needs help finding formula, remember you can go to hhs.gov/babyformula.
As a new parent, one of the scariest things that you hear about is sudden infant death syndrome, or SIDS. It's a medical mystery in which a seemingly healthy baby goes to sleep and never wakes up. The CDC says there are about 3,400 cases of SIDS a year in the U.S. Now in North Carolina, out of 100,000 live births, about 113 infants die from SIDS.
The numbers aren't aren't huge, but they are huge in impact. And I think the scariness is that we have not been able to identify an ultimate cause. Why is this happening?
Well, now there's breakthrough research that may be an answered prayer to many. The study published in the Lancet Medical Journal found that levels of an enzyme called BCHE were significantly lower in babies who later died of SIDS. Dr. Allison Gardner with Novant Health says this is related to a baby's ability to arouse out of sleep. She says the study looked at 67 infants who had died in Australia. 26 had SIDS and that enzyme.
It is a very exciting finding in that it is a difference. It could explain why this is happening. It's, however, a very small study, and it's a very first step in that I can understand why there's a lot of excitement. I'm excited. I'm excited for the families that I know who have suffered through this, that people around the world are working on this and continuing to work on this because it is so important.
Now, until more research is done, Dr. Gardner says parents should follow the American Academy of Pediatrics recommendations. She says since the 1990s, the Back to Sleep campaign lowered the rate of SIDS by 50%. So here are some of those recommendations. Have babies sleep on their backs with a firm mattress with no blankets or those crib bumpers. Avoid overheating. Have the baby sleep in the parent's room in a bassinet or crib for about 6 months. And avoid tobacco use around the baby. Now, some other things that she said help prevent SIDS is breastfeeding and also pacifiers. So a lot of things, but this new research really just providing hope that an answer is coming in the future.
Well, it was always such a huge question mark. You know, parents were like, it was almost like a catch-all. We didn't really know what it meant. It's like they would blame it on SIDS, and I'm not sure if they even understood really what was going on. There's so many factors that play into this that I didn't even think about.
My question was going to be, is this the same thing as when they say babies should not sleep in the bed with parents? Is it like related or?
That's more suffocation.
That's more suffocation.
Okay.
Yeah, they're afraid you're going to roll over on them or push their head down into a pillow or a mattress.
But I mean, if they are in a bed and say that there's a blanket and they pull the blanket over their head and they said that can increase the risk too.
And they've changed. I remember like when my twins were born as opposed to my last kid, that they totally changed what they said to do. Put the baby on the
sleep
stomach.
on the belly, yeah.
Yeah, put it on the back. And we had these little bumpers that were like Velcro that you could put on the sheets and it would stop them from rolling over. So yeah, everything's changed.
Well, at least there's some steps being made and they're finding out some new research so we can save more babies.
Yeah, I definitely think that study, because it's such a small scale, will now become larger, and then maybe that answer will be found.
And those numbers are shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, now we're going to get to some of your headlines with your 4 to 5 roundup. Right now, family members of the 10 black people massacred at a Buffalo supermarket are calling on the country to confront and stop racist violence. The first funeral service took place today for Hayward Patterson. Yesterday, family members faced the gunman for the first time during a court appearance. The 18-year-old suspect is charged with murder in the first degree, and prosecutors say he could face hate crime and domestic terrorism charges. According to the latest data from the Department of Justice, nearly 80% of hate crimes in North Carolina are based on race. Right now, the Charlotte Division of the FBI is raising awareness about federal hate crimes and encouraging the public to report them. If you believe you are the victim or a witness of a hate crime, you can call 1-800-CALL-FBI or submit a tip to tips.fbi.gov. As temperatures exceed 90 degrees over the next few days, doctors want you to take care of your skin when you go out into the sun. We know it kind of goes without saying, but this is the first heat stretch of the year and we want you to be prepared. Experts say no matter what skin type you have, you should wear sunscreen. It can prevent skin cancer and sun damage. Anyone 6 months and up can apply it. They say the average adult should wear a shot glass amount of sunscreen over their entire body. If you're looking to beat the heat, Wet n Wild in Greensboro, it opens tomorrow. Park officials say it's the first time in decades it will open before Memorial Day weekend. With more days and more ways to play, the park needs workers for the 2022 season. Job info is up on our website. Again, opening day is tomorrow. Doors open at 10 a.m. It's also a big weekend for Triad music lovers. Sir Paul McCartney is performing at Truist Field in Winston-Salem tomorrow. The city says expect road closures and traffic delays. Take a look at this map here of the event parking. Officials say police will direct traffic around the venue. They say traffic will be the worst between 3 p.m. and 1 a.m. Parking lots open at 3.
Well, if you're looking for something else to do, maybe on a smaller scale, but just as good with music, though, it's time for one of my favorite music festivals of the year. The Carolina Blues Festival is happening tomorrow. This is at LeBauer Park in downtown Greensboro. This morning, I caught up with the director of the festival, Atiba Berkeley, who let us in on what to expect. Hey, this place is going to be rocking this weekend. Nobody knows that better than our friend Atiba here. You were telling me this ties in with North Carolina Blues Week?
Yeah, we have about 12 events in North Carolina Blues Week, everything from live music jams and local venues to food events that we've done with farmers markets, acoustic music, and then of course ending with the Carolina Blues Festival.
And now so Eric Gales is playing tonight, right?
Yeah, our pre-party is tonight at the Blind Tiger. Eric Gales is playing his new record, The Crown. He also just won a Blues Music Award for Guitar Player of the Year from the Blues Foundation. So we're really excited to have great talent from our community showing up for us.
So tell me about this festival. What will people see when they come out here tomorrow?
Tomorrow they'll get to come see 7 great bands. All the bands have African American members under age 35 with our theme Young, Black, and Blues. We just want to have honest conversations about culture, but also party a little bit. So these guys are going to cut up on their guitars, and we have Vanessa Collier, who just won Best Female Contemporary Artist with the Blues Foundation, and we've got some amazing show for you tomorrow.
Now, do you volunteer? You need some help, right? We talked about volunteers.
Yeah, we definitely still have lots of volunteer needs. So people can go to piedmontblues.org/volunteers, or just click through to any of our website and social media. And it's really easy. You click through, pick your time slot that's already been predetermined, and you come. Also, volunteers get in for free.
See?
So if you think a ticket is something that can't make it in your wallet, maybe giving us a few hours of your time can help. It's a 8-hour party, so give us 2 or 3 and have fun with the rest.
You just sold me. You said 8-hour party, Chilton's in. Yeah, so come out and check this out. This is very cool. It's very neat. I've been before. Yeah, 3 p.m. doors open. First music starts at 4. It goes into the night, into the night. And if you haven't been, it's incredible. And I would say this: you don't have to be a blues fan Yeah, you don't, because they have it's kind of shades of blues, if you want to say it that way, because it's all over the place.
And the blues is like the roots of a lot of different genres. Yep. It's all kind of rooted in there.
And these are young blues artists, which you don't see very often. You usually see older people doing the blues. No, they're focusing on young black blues artists.
I love that.
Yeah, it's very good.
Definitely something to check out this weekend.
All right, we'll see you at LeBauer Park tomorrow. We'll be right back.
Hello, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie. They forever go together. the lovely sound of the lawnmower. Will you be waking up to this on Saturday or Sunday? With the heat forecast, people will want to get their lawn mowed in the coolest part of the day. So I ask you, my friends, when is it neighborly to mow the grass?
After 9 a.m.
After 9,
That's
okay.
what I say. Yep.
I mean, I understand though, because the earlier, the cooler it is outside. But yeah,
I would
But
say.
also remember, you shouldn't mow until the dew has evaporated.
This is where I'm going to.
Oh, is it?
Erin
Oh, sorry,
Shelton.
Tammy.
Good job there. Okay, because I found an article, the best time to mow your lawn without annoying your neighbors, which I thought was the best headline ever. Let me give you a close look at what it said. Early morning, 6 to 8, the grass could be wet with dew, which means the mower will rip the grass, bruise it, and it can take longer to heal. Mid-morning, 8 to 10, this, they say, is the best time. The dew has dried, it's not too hot, the grass is standing tall for a really good trim. Midday, you and your lawn are way too stressed by the heat. Mid-afternoon, it can still cause strain on your lawn. Late afternoon, this is 4 to 6, that's the second best time to mow your lawn. It gives your grass a few hours to recover. And early evening, they say if you mow then, mold and fungus can take root overnight. Now that we know the best time to mow, what about the best mowers? Consumer Reports tested them for their cutting and their mulching performance, as well as handling and maneuvering. And they found battery mowers performed just as well as the gas mowers.
You don't have to spend as much on maintenance. They tend to be much quieter. And a lot of people tend to enjoy the bells and whistles that come with the battery-powered units more than the gas.
And they're cheaper too. You'd save more than $200 choosing this top-rated self-propelled Greenworks battery mower rather than the top-rated Honda gas model. Both rate highly in CR's reliability surveys and deliver excellent mulching. For half the cost, Consumer Reports says the battery-operated Cobalt from Lowe's also offers excellent mulching. And if you prefer to do the pushing yourself, consider this $350 mower from Ryobi.
I want you to check this out. So recently I dug back into the old storage closet in our attic and I found something that I used to collect for years. I need to get back into it. Old metal lunchboxes. That's what I collect. We'll have more on that coming up in just a minute. But first, I asked you, what do you collect on Facebook, and was there anything unusual? I love this one. Connie said pins. She collects all kinds of pins. She says, I have just about every pin ever made. Patricia said tins, mostly antique reproductions, rocks, simple fossils, porcelain horses. I mean, she has it all here. Tanya Rivera chimed in on this, and this cracked me up. She said, my husband would say that I collect coffee cups in counters, on tables, vanities, windows, sills, everywhere. Ginger said, and I've never even heard of this, miniature oil lamps. I didn't know that was such a thing. Brad said, as a roller coaster fanatic, one thing, I have a pretty good collection. They're known as nano coasters, which are basically just little small models of the actual coasters. And he said that he collects the coasters that he's actually ridden on. So I brought in a couple lunch boxes, just one that I thought was cool. This is from the 80s, but I don't know which camera, Brad. Do you want me to hold it up to one of these if you can get it? That's Return of the Jedi. Not in bad shape. You always have to, talk about the condition, but this one is my most expensive one. That is an original Lost in Space from, I think, 1967. It's funny, the drawings on it are really funny. No thermos in that one, but this one goes on eBay anywhere from $800 to $1,000.
Wow.
And if it had the thermos with it, it's worth more.
So how many of these do you have?
So they're still in a box in my closet. I have never put them on display in our current house. I need to. I have about 35, and I started because when I was a kid, getting the lunchbox at the beginning of each year when I was in elementary school was one of my favorite things. And so somebody at my previous station in Tampa, Florida said, I collect metal lunchboxes. I said, you're kidding. And he brought the one in that I had. He said, here, start collecting. And so I did. I started collecting.
So you just go to different thrift
yard
stores
sales,
and yard sales?
You can find stuff in yard sales. People don't. They'll sell it
and
for
it's
$1.
worth hundreds of dollars.
Yes. If I turned around and sold all of mine, there's no telling. Do either one of you collect anything?
I'm starting to collect magnets. I know that sounds very generic, but I am getting just the square magnet whenever I go somewhere like the Biltmore or a museum. I kind of want to, just have my fridge filled with them.
Ornaments, Christmas ornaments.
Christmas ornaments.
Shot glasses.
Right. Let us know what you collect on Facebook. We'll be back.
So my family,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
represents your year or whatever. Like something you liked or something.
Hey, mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Eric has lunch boxes.
Hi, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland.
Hello, mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's almost time for my 2 cents.
My 2 cents on location today. We don't do this very often, but if you were with us for the whole show, then you saw this, right? It's the Piedmont Blues Preservation Society. They have the Carolina Blues Festival here in LeBauer Park this weekend. But when I was speaking with the organizer, he said something that spoke to my heart. All of you know I love music. Music, live music, bands, it's kind of a thing. I think it is the universal language. It's very cliche, but no matter what race, religion, national origin, creed you are, music speaks to everybody. Well, here's what's happening. The big venues are going to get their gigs, right? You know, we've got Paul McCartney and all these other things happening. But smaller music festivals and other genre of music, they deserve to be attended. And when I spoke to the organizer, he said they are more than $20,000 under budget for this. Now think about this. These artists that are incredible artists, and by the way, the theme this year is Young, Black, and Blues. That's what they're calling it. They want younger blues artists to get some recognition. And when I thought about this, I said, this is important. And they're so under budget. Imagine if you're one of the artists and you come and then you can't get paid. So I'm telling you this not to beg for money, because I think this is something that we deserve to pay some attention to. So if you love music, and maybe genres that aren't the #1 genres, please support local festivals, local smaller venues, and artists that don't get enough attention. They're very important to all of us to recognize each individual genre and artist as you can. But that's just my 2 cents. That's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts now.
Nearly a year ago, 9 tubers went missing in Rockingham County.